Good morning, everybody, and this is Imaginary Dreams once again, bringing to you this art workflow, trying to make this movie poster like style of the upcoming physical comic called Sithrah by Jason Brubaker. And so I would like to show a few reference pictures for the ideas to create this image. And if I'm trying to make this movie poster, then obviously the best thing is to see other movie posters similar to what I'm looking for. And there are many types of movie posters which I can get into later on into the video, I suppose. But first off, we are looking for a type that is very symmetrical and might be dividing the screen. And from what you can see with the Aladdin poster or the Beauty and the Beast poster, they divide the screen from left to right. And then we have the Star Wars, which is like from top to bottom, which is also a little bit interesting, and they use the lightsabers to divide in the frame to let the viewer's eyes travel around the poster to see like everything around it. And one that I sort of like the most with the style that I'm kind of going for is this Blade Runner poster that has a very strong contrast between red and blue. Though at the end of the image that I end up creating, it's more of a divide between top and bottom, and the bottom being a little bit into darkness and the top being more into let's say the light. Unfortunately, there was a section of the recording that I missed out, and so some of the line drawings I was not able to capture. I thought I was recording, but that was not the case. But still talking about the sketching phase and trying to think of ideas, there is another way is to like get different reference photos. So I got some screenshots for reference of the characters, obviously, but to actually use those characters to make a somewhat rough draft of the end product that I was looking for. So this is what I came up with using the available photos from the Sithrah comic. So as you can see, it's sort of dividing, like Dino has his struggle between sort of light and darkness, and this sort of evil girl is sort of on the left side with him, trying to pull him down, but then wanting to like have Nirvana as she's looking up, maybe looking to the light, and the Sithrah is in the middle in the background, sort of watching over them, since he's somewhat of a guardian angel and a friend, and maybe the father being part of the poster, if it was a sort of movie poster that I was trying to implement. But with some time constraints and trying to work through certain things, this ended up not being the final outcome, and so I decided to just keep it to the main 4 characters and take the dad out of the image. So we have again the Sithrah sort of in the middle on top as sort of the north face, and then the girl is then moved to the middle area with the sort of snake bone like monster that I sort of really like the design of, wanting to try to sort of implement that in the background as a looming threat behind the girl. And I think it sort of might make it a little bit more mysterious, let's say. I sort of turned Dino's head again to sort of facing the middle in such a way that maybe he's sort of not facing away from the light, let's say, and he's sort of somewhere in the middle trying to think about what he should do. He is again in his own journey, while Nirvana, from what I understand in the comic, is still on the straight path to finding her father. And I don't recall at this point that she struggled too much with the darkness, let's say. And this is also thanks to her Sithrah sort of protecting her and guiding her. And speaking of movie poster designs, here's a illustration that I found online, which is a great reference to see the different variations of movie posters. And so the words masthead is sort of the title, and then there's a subhead being the sub and lesser important information of the poster. Though of course this isn't a complete in illustration of all different movie posters, since they are different variations, but the commonality that I've seen so far is sort of the Z style, where you go from the top part of the poster from left to right and then diagonal down to the bottom left side again, and then from bottom left to right to see the subhead. And that seems to be like a very common use, and also a very good way to get the viewer's attention to look through the entire poster. Though the design that I'm going for so happened to be going for this other one where it's also a Z, but might be a opposite kind of Z due to the angle of Dino's gun, and also a circular type, since each of the characters are each at the poster where it's almost like a compass, each one being like north, south, east, and west area. And then hopefully the dynamic contrast of dark to light also brings a little bit of direction to the viewers to see from one end to the other. With that said, hope you enjoy sort of the drawing process of this Sithrah fan art poster, movie poster style. And again, I went back a little bit to increase the contrast a little bit, and a little bit of the saturation and desaturation of some of the colors. And this is the second version of it, and then maybe a third version of it, adding the actual name of the comic book itself. And so hope you enjoyed this video and talk, and I hope to see you all next time. Good night.